The southern coast of the island is a less visited part of Sicily. Only Modica and Ragusa are worth mentioning. The latter is the departure point of trips towards the inner parts of the island. Ragusa is the capital of the southeast and a county seat. Only the upper Ragusa, built on the site of the Greek Hybla Herea, and the medieval city built adjacent to it, are interesting for tourists. Lower Ragusa is a center of asphalt and oil mining. It's a modern industrial city with all its disadvantages. The picturesque Baroque upper city has such monuments as the San Giorgio Church or the Santa Maria della Scava Church, dating back to the 15th century, or the Pro Patria Monument. In his famous work Italian Journey, Goethe writes about the antique monuments of Sicily with enthusiasm. Before and after him, many people have shared this ardor. The diverse sites of the island are due to its mixed history. The native Sicans were conquered by Punic and Greek people. In 212 BC, they were followed by the Romans, who made the island their independent provincia. 1,000 years later, Saracens, that is, Arabian people, arrived. They were beat by the Norman of French origin. After the Guiscard dynasty died out, the German Hohenstauffs, then the French Anjou finally succeeded. The famous folk rising called the Sicilian Evensong dispelled the Anjou. Then, with the help of the Pope, the Spanish Aragonian house gained power, later falling into the Habsburgs' hand. They were succeeded by the Savoya and Bourbon house until the island joined the United Italian Kingdom. Siracusa is the most southerly city on the Ionic Sea and was founded in 734 BC by the Greek from Corinthus on the island of Ortygia. During its heyday, it was 3 times as big as it is today. Today, the island and the mainland are connected by a bridge. The plays of Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides used to be performed in the Greek theater. Today, we can adore the sunset from its semicircle benches. Archimedes controlled the technical defense of Siracusa, besieged by the Romans with catapults and, among other things, parabola mirrors. The scholar was killed by a Roman soldier who didn't care about Archimedes' famous saying, "Don't disturb my circles." The scholar's tomb is alleged to be near Latomia del Paradiso, a quarry. The huge chasm-like quarry with its collapsed top became well known when 7,000 prisoners of war were imprisoned here. Dionysius Tyrannus heard the prisoners talking to each other in an echoing cave, and the cave has been called Dionysus' Ear ever since. All over the island, the products of craftsmen are popular. In Siracusa, the custom-made products of ceramics are especially popular with tourists. The ships going to Malta set off from the harbor of the city. The small alley Passeggio Artetusa leads to the harbor, from where the bay is beautiful, especially at sunset. The main square is decorated by a spectacular Diana fountain dating back to 1906. The side of the old town lining the peninsula reminds us of Dubrovnik, but the buildings seen here represent several centuries and several styles. Frederick II was responsible for the building of the fortress Castello Maniace, extending into the sea. The building of Palazzo Bellomo dates back to the 13th century, the showpiece of its museum, the painting Angelic Greeting by Messina. St. John's catacombs remained from old Christian times in the yard of a monastery which fell into decay. The minster was built on the site of a Minerva church, partly using its remainders. Its exterior parts were converted in Baroque style later on. Some columns of the huge three-aisle building belong to the Minerva Church. In the chapel, we can see the silver sculpture of St. Lucia, who scratched out her own eyes because one of her admirers complimented them. The beautiful altar picture is also a work by Messina. Siracusa boasts everything that the other cities of Sicily have. Siracusa can hold its own with any other city of Sicily. There's an excavation, an archaeological museum, the Apollo Sanctuary and Cathedral, a Greek theater and Roman amphitheater, Gothic fortress, and medieval catacombs. But it has something that no other Sicilian cities have. There's a legend about the spring of Aretusa. The nymph was turned into a spring here by Alpheus, the god of rivers. Another curiosity of the place is that in Europe, the papyrus of the Nile, which was planted here by the Arabians, can grow only here in the warm water of the pool.